Right, good evening, everyone. My name is Riya, and I'm delighted to welcome you all on behalf of Cognitia for the webinar session on Power Platform. Thank you, everyone, for carving out time from your busy schedule and joining us today. Today, we have the privilege of being joined by an esteemed subject matter expert, Parveen. Parveen not only brings a wealth of knowledge and experience to the table, but is also a Microsoft certified trainer. So, without any further delays, let us dive right into the power of Power Platform together. Once again, welcome and thank you for joining us today. Parveen, over to you. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Ria. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this webinar. Well, Ria has already introduced me. My name is Praveen, and I'm this training industry for almost 2 decades now. And I'm active Microsoft certified trainer from last 12 years as well. So I think let's not talk about me because we have the time constraint. So by considering the time, let's focus on the topic. And it's about the Microsoft Power Platform. See, nowadays, most of the organizations, they have the need, like they would like to build the application very quickly. And the most important thing is like the data that they would like to consume by these applications, that should come from the different type of data sources. So there should not be any type of limitations like my data is coming from only the Microsoft ecosystem because my applications can be a Salesforce, it can be a SAP applications, might be my data is coming from the AWS environment, my data is coming from the GCP environment, or we are getting the data from the other cloud like the Microsoft Azure environment as well. So let me quickly share my screen and we will discuss about like how this Power Platform will help you uh, to implement many concepts like if you want to design your applications quickly without writing a code with the that concept is called as a low code or no code environment, how it can be implemented in case there is a need, like we would like to implement some type of automations over our data, how it can be implemented, so what are the components or the services that the Microsoft provides us, and in case there is a need that we would like to see the data that is coming from the wide variety of sources and some analytics need to be implemented, so we have the solutions for that as well. Sometimes the organization may want that we would like to create a website very quickly, and this website should take the data from our uh, the backend systems, and this data should be presented to our client and the customers as well. So the Microsoft is providing you a feature that is called as the Power Pages as well. Nowadays, the most of the things has been created and is getting created by the artificial intelligence as well. So the Microsoft is also having some inbuilt capability that the Power Platform provides that is called as the virtual agent. And the new name is basically the Copilot, you can say. That gives you the capability and the power that you will be able to design and create your bot within few time only, and it will be available to access your data from the wide variety of data sources, and you will be able to get it engaged, you will be able to display it any of your web application, mobile based application, your messenger applications, right? So it can easily be integrated. So these are the capabilities. This is something that every organization is currently looking for. So the Microsoft platform provide you a couple of these features as well, called as the Power BI. In case there is a need that we would like to create our visualization, some reports need to be created. So the Power BI is available. Might be you have already heard about this Power BI as an environment, but along with this environment that provide you a business analytic feature, the BI is having more power when you are consuming it with the help of the services. Service means the things are running inside the cloud environment. And when it is running inside the cloud environment, that means you will be able to take the benefit of the cloud computation. I will be having a more computation power. Along with this feature, that is your service, gives you the capability that you will be able to access and share your data among your colleagues, because the service that is available on your on-premise environment that is called as the Power BI desktop, it is having the capability to create any type of your business analytics solutions, but it cannot be shared with your team members. But in case you want to share where the user are different, within the organization or outside the organization, and you want the data should be accessible by these users as well. So the Power BI service can be implemented based on the roles, based on the permissions that you are allocating to your user. Your user will be able to access the data from there. Interesting thing about the Power BI is like it is having the application designed for your desktop applications. The applications are designed for your tablets like iPad OS or your Android tablets. The applications are designed for your iOS mobile phones as well as for your Android phones as well. That means we have some dedicated application. We don't need to browse to the browser every time. You just need to install your application and you can connect with your application and your data is just in front of you by logging with your right type of your credentials. That's the Power BI that provides you. Easily, you will be able to communicate with a wide variety of data sources. And when we are saying the wide variety of sources, let me quickly use my screen as a writing board. And here we can see the Power BI is having the capability to connect with more than 300 connectors that are available. These connectors gives you the capability that you will be able to connect with multiple data sources like the data that is running in your on-prem environment if this is on-prem. And when we say on-prem environment, generally what happens, our data is coming from a SQL server and the SQL is running in your on-premise environment. Sometimes you have some files available on your on-premise environment. When we say files, it can be your CSV files, it might be your any type of your Excel file, you have some JSON document, you are might be playing with some Parquet files. So there can be any type of file format like the XML, you have the Avro format. So different file format it support. So in case you want to provide any type of your business analytics solutions by designing the report, designing the dashboard, by using the Power BI as a services, it can be implemented. Data can be connected from your on-premise data sources, or the data can come from your AWS, data can come from your GCP, data can come from your Azure environment, data can come from your Oracle environment, data can be from your SAP, data can be from your Salesforce, right? There are actually, you can see, as I mentioned here, more than 300 different type of connector services are available. These connectors will help you to securely connect with your wide variety of your data sources. And then it is having the capability to design these dashboard report. And anytime, in case you would like to implement any type of your the data transformations over there, it can be implemented as well. So big capability that the Power BI provides you. Yeah, Jatin, good question actually. Sorry, I missed it out earlier. So do we need any type of coding? So answer is like, no, we don't need any type of coding. What we can do, the connection is very straightforward, where it asks you that what is your URL or the IP address, you can say, what is the username and what is the password. In case you are connecting with the database, it will ask you for your database. So the need is of a connection string. In simple words, you can say. So we need a connection string, and by using all these connection parameters, you will be able to connect with wide variety of sources. Yes, of course, I'll be sharing. Yes, that's again a good question. Basically, there are two ways. Basically, as the Vishnu is asking for the question, if there is a no need of writing the queries, we don't write the query, then how it will basically fetch the data. So we have two type of queries that you will be able to use. Either you can just write the queries, or it is having a visual query editor as well. So the visual query editor will help you to design your queries as well. Like I'll just quickly show with you, show to you. Like let me quickly log into one of my account over here. Here we go. I'm inside the Power BI environment, right? And if I say that I have to design any of my reports over here, so you will be able to create these reports. Currently, the service is basically the Power BI as a service. I'm not using the Power BI desktop edition here, right? In this case, we can start creating any of report by using any of this sample data. Like let's say that I would like to take the data from any of my CSV, right? over here, I'm just connecting with any of my CSV. So in that case, if you have some CSV file on your local computer, you can connect with your local file and you can start using it, right? So let's say that I'm using my local computer and let me quickly connect with one of my file over here. Yep. So just give me a few seconds. We'll be able to upload it and we can see that file inside the environment. Like here is a file that I'm just uploading it. Let me just make a connectivity so that it can store my file inside my OneDrive environment. Let me quickly do the sign in process. You can see that how smooth it is. We don't need to set up multiple things. Straightforward, it will allow you to make a connectivity and now it has been connected. Now it will first of all upload my file into my OneDrive because I'm using this for my account right now. And once it is done, I will be able to see the content from here. And as per your queries, you are asking for how it can be implemented without writing F code. So here you can see it is using its own engine that is called as the Vertipack as an engine. Like you have a SQL engine for you, we have the similar type of engine in the background. And to perform any type of queries over this data, we can use a Power Query editor. So Power Query editor is basically a very useful tool for us that will help you to perform any type of your data transformation operations on your data. Like currently it is just showing you the data from this preview, and I'll say create my report. No, it is just loading it. Don't worry. It generally it happens basically. So that is fine. We can just try to refresh this one and we should be able to do it again. And let me just connect with my CSV. I'm sure that we have this file available, not available. Let me quickly do it. Sometimes it happens, right? That it is unable to recognize showing some error over here. So that is fine. We can just retry and generally it is getting fixed as well. That might not be possible, Akanksha, in this case, because it needs a subscription of, first of all, 365 environment. And on 365 environment, on top of that, we need a subscription for the Power BI as well. There is some issue right now that it is. Okay, let me create it from my own data. So let me take the data from here. Okay. I'm using the data that is already been there inside my environment because the file is not getting uploaded right now. So I'm just taking the data directly from there. In this case, I will show you the couple of examples over here, like how quickly these reports can be designed, how it can be implemented as well, right? And how quickly you will be able to share these reports with your team members and they can simply log in with their credentials from their mobile phones, from their tablets, and they will be able to use. Tapan, in this case, I'm not using the Power BI desktop standalone from your computer, right? And the license that you're using, that is just for your desktop edition in case we need this service. So you need a premium license or a pro license where the service is getting activated. So if you have the service activated, then only you will be able to create and design these applications, right? Inside the service environment. So it takes some time. Yeah. So in that case, you will be able to create and use. So because when you are talking about the licensing, there are multiple things related. One is like running inside on-premise environment, and one is running inside the cloud. As everybody asked about, like we can perform it. So let me quickly tell you why this is not feasible right away. Because first of all, to use these services, any of the service that you would like to use, specifically, if I'll say Power BI, we are talking about a service and it is running inside the cloud environment. Few things that are required. First of all, a 365 license. You should have a 365 account, and top of that, you need a license for to use the Power BI. Power BI license should be there. To work with your Power Apps, the Power Apps license is required. To work with the Automate, an Automate license is required. To work with the Pages license is required. And in case you want to work with the Copilot, the older name as Bot, Power Platform Virtual What, PVA, the older name, then also the license is required. So every different service needs a specific license, right? So the report is taking some time. Looks like there is some impact on the services right now. So let me quickly refresh it. It is just generating actually. Here we go. You can see it is just working on that and the report will be available. You can see we have a lot of tables available. We can select these table, the columns that are required. We can design our report. It is just getting ready. A pre-generated report, it is getting created. And the best part about all these functionalities, like now the integration of the Copilot is basically making these things very easy. So if you have a Copilot license now, Copilot for the 365, if that is the license that your organization is having, so what we can do without creating these things manually, like I want to create a report, I want to create a dashboard, right? Such type of tiles need to be created. So we can simply ask the Copilot that I'm just looking for the data from the last 5 years where the person is having uh, good question basically. Can we link Jira data over here? Yes, of course. It is having the connector that you will be able to connect with your Jira as well. Yeah, Vinod, you have a inbuilt connector available. That is what it is getting created, right, Vinod? Like you can see, um, it is about to create that data. So it is just creating that information. We'll be able to see that data, right? That automatically it is getting created that we can see. So it is just generating because the things are running automatically from here. It is creating this report based on the product and the sales reason. The report is getting created over here. So it is taking some time, right? It says like it is available. Let me just refresh it again. It is ready. Here you can see. You might have noticed it. I have not created this report. This is getting created automatically because I selected that a pre-configured report should be available. So easily this report can be configured and this is just in front of you, right? Now, in case you just want, you have the edit option on the top, and using the edit option, you will be able to customize this entire report. Now it is just working in the same way that you are using the Power BI desktop edition, but thing is running inside the cloud environment. Anytime you want to change anything over here, come up over here, you want to create some new pages over here, select the type of the graph, the visualization that you're looking for, and you will be able to start using it, right? You want to get some more data over here, you can select and you will be able to generate your report. How easily it can be implemented. Now, one of the question that you are asked me that how it is going to take this data. So we have the data modeling. So whenever you are interacting with your data, it is having a semantic model generated automatically. And based on that data model, you will be able to perform any type of your operations by using the Power Query. So the Power Query will help you to write you without writing the query. It is having the query within a visual interface. You can simply select your sources and you will be able to play with that, right? Select the source, select your table, select your column, and you can design and customize your report. Once this report is getting generated, you have the option that you will be able to share these reports. Like, let me just quickly save it from here. It is just, you can select these reports anytime, right? This is report 01. We have the different type of environments that are available that are called as basically your workspaces. These workspaces are basically the locations where you will be able to store your data related to the different type of departments. Because in the entire Power Platform system, what happens basically, you have to organize your data. So on the top, we have a tenant available. And within the tenant environment, what we have to work with your Power Platform environment, we have different services. And if you're talking about especially the Power BI service, you are basically working with a workspace. Workspace is acts like as a container for you, and within this container you have the option that you will be able to store all the related items, and these items are like your reports, your any of your standalone files, your connections that you are just making, any of the dashboards that you are designing. All these items are getting stored. Once these items are getting stored over here, and if you want to share with your users, you have the option that you can say I would like to share. Now what you want to share, basically this is based on the 365 settings. Generally these settings are coming from your SharePoint environment. And if you want to share, you look at here like people within the organization, existing access, or to a specific people. What the user can do, all recipient to share this report, allow the recipient to share this report, recipient to build the content with the data. In case you are selecting the option number two and the option number one, what will happen? The user, let's say I have created this report or a dashboard. Now I just want that it should be shared with you, but you will be able to see this report, but along with this you should have the capability to modify this report as well. So I can select this option as well. Then you just need to select the user from here, which user is about to perform this action, and you can simply say you can copy the invite, mail, Teams, PowerPoint, the way you want to share it, it is going to be shared. Now you are just sharing a link to one of the user is having the access to this report. Remember, when you are sharing this report, the associated data is also going to be shared as well based on the permissions that you have selected in the previous step. Like I have selected that it is going to share the report and allow the user to do the modification on the report as well. That means the user will have the full capacity to modify the entire content and the user can see the entire data. But in case you want to implement certain permissions over there, like user can only see the data that is relevant to the user, because in the environment, what happens basically, your data is coming from number of different type of sources. You have performed, you created the report. Now this report is going to be shared with your individual user, and the user can, we just want that the user should be able to see only the data that is related to their account, like what are the sales that they have made. So in that case, it is having the capability, like Power BI is having the capability that you will be able to create your customized role. And by using these roles, the user can only see the information that is related to their account actually. So you can just configure it in a such a way, a role need to be created and then role need to be assigned. So these type of things can be created. And when you are sharing it, you will be able to start sharing this data directly inside yes, because once you are connecting, of course. So we know the question that you are asking. Once you are connected with the multiple type of data sources, then you will be able to do any of your reporting. Your all your columns will be available over here. Like, let me quickly share it from here. I'll be using the desktop first of all, because the desktop gives you the capability. If the operations are not getting performed from here, you will be able to create and perform, connect with your different type of data sources from here. You can design everything from your local computer, and once it is getting designed from here, you will be able to publish inside your cloud environment. Like a quick example, I will say that I will be reading the data from my CSV. So these are the different sources. Now this is the desktop edition. I'll say get the data from here. I'm just connecting with my data. So this is a CSV file from where I will be getting my data. Let me quickly get my data from here. Just give me a few seconds. I'll just come here and logging into my location. Here we go. And I'm good. I'm just trying to connect with a CSV file. Now, if I have, now this is the data, I'll say load and transform. Now, the question that you asked me earlier. Now, this is your Power Query editor. From here, you can see, like we are talking about low code, no code environment. That means if you know about this Power Query, you can just change the things by using, by navigating over here. That is one. If you are not aware, in that case, this transformation tabs will help you to do the modification over your data. Like I'm not interested in this revenue, or might be I'm just looking into this one, but it needs to be formatted. Campaign is not required. Category has to be, product category has to be renamed with some other value. So you can see we have all these transformations available. Like if I want to add some new columns, it can be a computed column. We will be able to get with these services. Jira services can be, yeah, it is not created from, that is fine. That is fine. See, when we are talking about connecting with this CSV file, this is just a simple example. And for the Power BI, it is just a simple source of the file. So once it is just taking the data over here, right, then you will be able to play with this one. Now I'll just store it over here and I'll say my data is coming from some other type of sources, right? You have the capability to connect with your different data sources. Data lake and the report is very dynamic. Any tool that can be used for to test the Power BI report, as I am aware the Dex Studio and any other tool. Yes, we have the option to use your tools. Like we have this tabular editor that can be used. Tabular editor will help you to use the things for your the performance tuning and other things, right? Of course, it can be implemented. You have the option that you will be able to generate and create your customized roles from here, right? We can create your roles from here that you will be able to assign. And if the things has been created inside the cloud environment, that can it can be associated from the cloud as well, right? So it is having the capability. Now, for your other question, like I'll be getting the data from different sources. Currently, this is from a CSV, but it is not limited actually. You will be able to get the data from these wide variety of sources. Get your data from here and you can just design. What you need to do is like once it is getting created over here, you will be able to create this data modeling. And in this data modeling, you will be able to set up the relation between the different type of data tables. Because once the relationship has been built, then your report is going to be updated accordingly, right? So, of course, that is possible, and you will be able to create and design that visualization from using this data modeling section, right? So connect your data from multiple sources, set up some relationship because there should be some logical relationship. Then only the dynamic operations are going to be implemented, or you can say the data will be reflected from multiple sources. So this is your semantic model that plays a very important role over here. Yeah. All right. So this is the power of the environment that we are talking here is about the Power BI. This is not the only thing that your Power Platform provides. This is one of the component as the due to the time constraint. I think let me just focus move to a next topic here. So let's say we have the Power Apps as an environment. Power BI is basically used for your analytical purpose. And if you want to design a couple of your applications, like there is a need for you to design an application where the user can interact and capture some information from your client, there is a lead generation form that need to be created. And this lead generation form is about to store my data into a simple example is like I'm using the Dataverse environment. Dataverse is Microsoft relational database available. This is primarily used when you are working with your Power Apps environment. And it is having many inbuilt tables, and the relationship between the table has been created for any of your business needs. Like you are in the retail business, you are in the manufacturing industry, right? And you are in the finance industry, right? Any type of industry. So based on the different type of industry, the Dataverse is having a set of defined tables available. And anytime you want to use those inbuilt table, it can be utilized. In case there is a need that you would like to implement the table with your own changes. So any of the existing table can be customized as well. Power Platform gives you the capability from these tables, you will be able to design a new user interface, or in case your data is not coming, you don't want to take the data from the Dataverse environment because this is a Microsoft managed and Microsoft provided solution for the storage. In the background, it is using a SQL service in the background. And this thing is like it is running inside the cloud environment. It is not available on your local environment. Any of these table can be utilized. This can be customized. But if there is a need that we would like to create our own tables, so that in the Dataverse environment, you have the option to create your own tables. A relationship can be set up. You will be able to define the columns, their data type, everything can be created. So this is not the only data source. You will be able to take the data from your SQL server. You will be able to interact with your data that is coming from your the data warehouse engine. You might have the data that is coming from a Cosmos DB. Your data is coming from your Oracle. Your data is coming from any of the CSV, JSON documents as well, right? So you will be able to play with that as well. So you can design these applications. Along with this, it is having the AI capabilities as well. And when we're saying the AI capabilities, that means it is having the intelligent algorithms that we are using inside the AI world right now that will help you to perform many operations by just using the inbuilt tool. Like I want to create an application for my user where the user can just capture the image of the invoice. So let's say the user can simply capture the invoice image at the runtime using the mobile phone, and it will automatically detect that these are the different type of the
This is the name of the organization, this is the logo, this is the date, this is the address, this is the product number, this is the quantity, this is the product name, this is the price, this is the taxes, what are the many products that it is having. So it can basically identify that information. Now on top of that, you can ask the question that what is the total cost, how many products that you have, and along with this, in case you want that this data should go into a SQL server, so it can do this thing for you. So it is having the OCR capability, optical character recognition, the feature that is an AI features available. Not only this, it is having the virtual reality as well. Let's say that you are in a manufacturing industry and you are manufacturing some products for your client. Sometime it happens that your client say that you just provide us a demo that how this product is going to work for us, and in that case you can say that I will be visiting the client office, and what I will be doing, basically I'll be using this AI builder tool. Using this AI builder tool, you can basically use the virtual reality and look into that how this product will look like when it is going to be placed into the client location, whether the size is fine, whether the dimensions are fine, whether there is a some changes that is required. So all these things can be looked into the real time environment by using this AI builder technique from here. So the inbuilt applications that are available, your data can come from wide variety of data sources, and by integrating the copilot features, what we can do, we can simply ask the copilot that design some application for me, so it will help you to generate these application at the run. I'm just showing you the couple of examples from here. One of the example is like Tasmanian Trade Office. So I'll just say that it is going to be played over here. I'm just going to play this particular application. The interface is very interactive, low code and no code environment. And due to this feature, we don't need to write that lengthy piece of code. It is just like simple Excel formula that you will be able to define and you can start using it, right? Two type of interfaces that are available. One is the interface that is primarily designed for the backend teams. That is called as a model driven application. You can see this is the interface, and this interface can be created automatically as soon as you're connecting with your different type of data sources. So the interface will be generated. If you want to enter the details, you can fill up the details and you can save as. It is easily to get it implemented. If you want that there should be an interactive interface for my end user as well. So in that case, what we can create an application that is called as a Canvas application. So the Canvas application will help you to see the data in a different user interface like this. Very interactive. Again, a low code environment where you will be able to design this application by just drag and drop, select the right type of your columns, and in case there is some changes that required, so what we can do, we can simply connect with your smart formulas can be edited, and these formulas can be edited by using a formula bar that you will be able to see from this Canvas application. So the Canvas application is basically having the user interface where you will be able to see the entire layout is like how this page should look like. So we have your left section where you will be able to see the list of these players actually. Then these players is having the details over here. In case there is some additional information that need to be captured over here, you want to add over here, it will be available. Anything that you would like to change that can be implemented from here, right? You can just change the date of birth, interactive user interface. And the benefit of this Canvas based application is like if your user has installed it on your tablet or on your Android devices, so they don't need to work with the browser itself. So they will be able to log in with their account and they can see this application. And based on the user interface, the layout of your screen, whether this is the landscape in the portrait mode, the user will be able to navigate to these screens very easily. So this interactive user interface can easily be created by just having a couple of steps. Select your source from where my data is actually coming, and it will design the things. I'll just give you one simple example. Here you can see. So this is my example where I have a screen available, right? This screen is designed from this layout actually. So this is the interface, just drag and drop option. You can insert number of items over here, connect with your data source. These are your data sources. What are the data sources that you are consuming? These data sources will appear from here. Anytime you want to add new source over here, right? You will be able to connect and add a new data source over here. These are basically your tables. Not only the tables coming from a one data source, if you want to connect with multiple other type of data sources, as you asked me the question earlier in the Power BI as well, can we connect with multiple data sources? Here also you can do the same thing. Anytime create a new table, or if you want to make a connectivity with other data services, see 365, SharePoint, SQL Server, and we have many more connectors available. See, these are the different type of data sources. Take the data from there and combine while designing your application. So that's the power that it provides you. And the interface will automatically adopt the size based on the configuration we are doing. Like I'll just say, this is the main screen. So the main screen is basically having couple of items available that you can see. What is the size? I'll just look at here how it is going to fill. Basically I'll say width. So it says the width will be automatically what is the size, application width, that based on the size of the application it will automatically adopt it. So I'm currently on a desktop environment. Yes. Sri Walson, yes, of course. That's a good question. Can we upload the files and store in the cloud storage using this UI as well? Of course, you can do that. You can store this data into a blob storage account. You can store this data into your data lake storage account. If you want to store this data into the SharePoint, you can do that. If you want to store it inside your OneDrive environment or a Google Drive environment or an AWS bucket, you can do that. So all these are the possibilities because we have multiple connectors that allows you. Like as I just mentioned, the connector that I just asked over here, like 300 plus. So all those connectors 300 plus are available for the Power BI environment, but there are more than 200 connectors that are exclusively available for your Power Apps environment as well. So that you will be able to take the data from any of these services and you will be able to upload the data into all these different type of destinations or the sources as well, right? So we have the capability to store and upload, download your data as well. Now, from here, once it is getting created, again, you will be able to share this file with your team members and they will be able to start consuming it. And on the top, you can see this is the power of the Copilot as well, where you can see you can just ask that I would like to design some application and quickly it will just design that application for you. Like I'll say, uh, create a app for hotel reservation. So this is the Copilot. So I'm just asking the Copilot to create an app for hotel reservation. Let's see how it is going to work actually. Now it is saying that it is going to create an app, working on it based on the prompt that I have just entered. It is going to create it. Now you can see one of the table has been created. You can see one of the table has been created over here. Say reservation ID, guest name, check-in date, checkout date, right? The room type, payment mode, right? It has been created. Anytime you want to change anything over here, right? You can do all these things at your own. See, this is in full your control, but you can take the benefit of this system and say remove column payment mode. So you can just ask this and it will help you to perform these operations over your tables. It has been removed. You want to add some new columns over here. So you can simply say that add it, right? Create it. And you want to see some more dummy data. So I'll say add 25 more records in the table. So you will be able to design it. Now you just ask it, it is going to do all these operations and it is going to work for you once you are fulfilled with your all your needs. Now you can see we can see more records over here and we can say create an app. Now it is just setting up this application for you and within minutes time it will be ready. Here we go. It's creating an application. App will be available and we can start using it. Almost ready. There you go. A Canvas application has been created. Now, if you are fine with the user interface, you can accept that. You can publish it. And if you want to do any modifications within the user interface, you want to have more tables over here, that can be implemented. So it's a very interactive user interface that is going to be available. You can create new applications, connect with wide variety of your sources on-prem, inside the cloud environment, and these applications can easily be created and can be shared with your team members as well. It's just loading the data over here, and this is here you can see the hotel reservations, right? These records will be available in front of you. So this has been designed actually. You can see this is getting fulfilled. We can play with this one, and here we go. Existing records. You want to create something new? Just come here and say guest name, my guest 01. Check-in date, right? Room type, not filling up. We just need to fix why it is not looking into from here, even though we can ask for the AI also to fix this type of issues as well. So it is going to be created. So yeah, you can see object room type was not fulfilled. So it is saying that object is not there. Rest of the details has been taken automatically. So we can fix all these small issues that it is getting generated, but most of the things has been implemented by this Copilot AI application. That what you will be able to do. This is what you will be able to see. Few more things over here. Let's see that I would like to create new application based on my own data. So if your data is coming from a SharePoint list, if your data is coming from OneDrive files, if your data is coming from a SQL server, right? Your data is coming from a CSV file from any of these locations, you will be able to easily create a new user interface. So the things will be created automatically. Entire application will be ready. And in case you want to make any changes in this application, that you can just perform those things as well. Like I'll say, I would like to create a new application. So we just need to select from where my data is actually coming. So you can take the benefit of some inbuilt tools that are available. I'll say my data is coming from a SharePoint or my data is coming from the Dataverse environment. You can select the option which table you want to use. Then that is the next question that it is going to ask you. Based on that, you can select your tables, which table you want to use, then it will just ask you to consume. These are the sources. See, currently I selected a Dataverse, so it is just asking me to select my connection from the Dataverse. If the I don't have a connection with the Dataverse environment, it will ask you to connect with your Dataverse. So we have the all these, see, we have all these different type of sources that are available, right? So if my data is coming from a Excel finance department, right, MySQL environment, you can connect with these type of data sources. Currently, this is the data source that has been configured. That's a good question actually. The real-time report or need to refresh. So it is not generating any of the reports from here. If you want, the report should be available. So whatever the report we have created over here, we can configure the refresh rate of this report, and then this report can be embedded within your form. So the report that is created in the Power BI can be integrated within your Power Apps application. So the Power Apps is providing you a user interface. Like you might have noticed it, like you have the Power Apps forms actually, right? The Power Forms actually, the Microsoft Forms that are available where you are using it for capturing the information, right? Now this is the similar type of thing, but it is basically used for the real-time application. Like you are asking the user to, you have the internal teams that is just asking the user to capture the information, right? So all that information. So that will be used for storing the information in any of the data sources or to updating the information from these sources that you will be able to use. Like I'll say that I will be taking the data from, see, these are the inbuilt things that are available that you will be able to use. Many hundred of tables that are available, right? That you will be able to interact and you will be able to play with that. I'll say I will be using the accounts table. Yep, never mind. I'll be selecting the accounts table from here. It is making a connectivity, and based on that connectivity, a user interface will be designed. Of course, we can just customize this entire user interface by navigating to the interface, making small changes, any big changes as well, and then we need to publish it, right? So it is just preparing the things for us based on the configuration that we have made so far, and it is gonna be ready. Here you can see we selected the accounts, and the for the accounts department it has been available now. I'll say play it. This is the preview. You can see city power light sample. Open it. Created manage city power account sample. So whatever the data it is having, that you will be able to see. Adventure works. Adventure works. If you want to edit something over here, created by, modified by these are the IP addresses, managing partner. You will be able to see that information and say, I would like to update it. Who is modified? You can just put the name of user over here as well. Like I'll say, I'll be putting up my name here and say, save it. So you can just made these changes. See, if you want to create a new record, click on the plus, create new, and it is available. So you can see how easily, otherwise to create this type of application that will be used for taking the information from the user, doing any modification. If you want to delete this data, so it is a time consuming process that takes time actually. And the user interface interactive as well. That means based on the screen size, the resolution, you can see I'm just look at the current resolution of my browser. It is like 33, but it is just filling up the details. If I'll just make it like 100, then also it is getting filled up because it is responsive in nature. And due to that, you can see it is, if I'll say that it should show me the information like how it should look like on an iPad Pro 20.9. This is how it is going to look like. Show me in the landscape mode, portrait mode, then you will be able to see the iPhone, which model, then it is going to show me like that only, right? Or if you want any other UI, it will display you. This is just a preview, but actual response will be generated in your actual application, right? app01, whatever the name, you can just save it. So a small example, and anytime you want to insert the data that you have already been created, right? So the data that you have already created from the BI environment, that you will be able to integrate as well, right? So it is having the capability that you will be able to add those graphs. See, you can just BI tile that you can select from here and you can associate it. So it will ask you to select your report that you would like to publish, and then you will be able to integrate it. That is what the Power Apps provides you. Along with the Power Apps environment, sometimes it happens you just need to perform any of your automations as well. And the automations is all about like the thing should happen on a specific time interval. So the Microsoft is providing you an application that is called as the Power Automate. Couple of things in the real time that might be required, like let's say a very simple example that we can say that it is going to be used in my real time environment is um, I just want that today I would like to work from my home, right? So if I will be doing a work from home, I just want that there should be some application that will help me to write the work from home mail to my manager by just hitting a button, right? So we have the tool available inside the Power Automate. So Power Automate is having a tool that is called as the button. And by using these buttons, what you can do basically, you can configure it like I'll be doing a work from home. So I would like to send an email to my manager, right? Today. So you can use your mobile phone, install the Power Automate over there and just click on that button. So it will do the rest of the things because you have already configured it. Because see, there are many buttons like create a new item in the SharePoint list with a button, get a new item in the SharePoint list and get it. New item is created. Like nowadays, the things are happening inside the cloud environment, and we just want the things should be happen in an instant manner with fast. It should be happen. In that case, what we can do basically, let's see, there is a scenario that you have uploaded. You have many files inside your OneDrive environment, and these files is having some mails coming from your client and some mails has been marked as very important, and there is a organization policy that say if the data is coming into your OneDrive, then also the data should be moved into the SharePoint repository, right, in a centralized repository. So there should be a process that is running every night, right, on a specific time, that is reading the data from the OneDrive where the mails having the attachment marked as very important is going to be taken from the user account and it is going to be stored in the SharePoint environment. So that that need to be implemented. Like if you're working inside the Power BI environment, in the Power BI might be you have seen that my data is coming from multiple type of sources, and when you are implementing some transformation, we just want that this transformation should happen on a specific time interval. Now that is related to your different data sources and generating and moving your data from source to the destination. This is a similar type of thing, but here we are not involved in a very big data over here. So multiple things can be implemented. So the Automate provides you that capability. Not only this, it is helping you that in case you want to create an approval process, and in your approval process, let's say that you have requested for a long weekend vacations, and you have already planned with your family, and now you just are waiting, you are just writing a mail to your manager that I just need an approval for a 10 days of vacation holidays, something like that. So you would like to draft an email, so you have just drafted an email, and let's say that you send this mail to your manager, but your manager is not available, right? He's already on break actually. So what should happen basically in that case? There should be a mechanism that will look for this manager response for some time. Let's say for 12, 24 hours it will keep on waiting for the manager to respond back, but in case you are not getting any response within the 24 hours, then it should forward that mail to the next manager actually. So approval process where the message is going to be forwarded to the next manager if you are not getting any response within a specific time frame. Or another example, like you have an invoice, or you are planning to purchase something for the organization, and you are from the finance team, and your organization say that if there is a budget of if there is a cost less than 10,000, or let's say 50,000, so the things can be purchased without any approval. But if the cost is basically inside your invoice that is more than 50,000, then there should be approval that is always required. So you just keep on generating that invoice. So if the amount is less than 50K, then it is going to be approved automatically. But as soon as it is going to be 50,001, then it will wait for the invoice to be approved. So all those things can be implemented. Or let's say that today I'm just planning to go to office, and every morning I just want at a 7 a.m. it should just look for my location data and send me a pop-up notification that how's the weather today, right? So that notification I would like to receive on my inbox. Or if I'm just getting an email from my manager that is marked as very important, having some attachment associated, so I would like to receive an SMS, or I would like to receive a notification on my mobile device. So all these things can easily be implemented. So these are the capability, these are the powers that it is going to do for you. See, every month copy all files from OneDrive folder to another OneDrive, copy all rows from an Excel file to another Excel file with a click of a button. When a new item is created in SharePoint, send me an email. Like you have created a SharePoint site, and this is basically a collaboration environment, and the multiple user across the organization, they will keep on uploading or adding new files over there. But if the application, if the files has been created by you, and you want to see what are the things that the user has made actually, and as soon as they made any changes, you would like to get a notification over the email. So these things can be created. So these are the AI generated things actually. So you can just select any of the things from here, and it will just help you to generate it. So it is just creating. This is a co-pilot actually that is performing with this. Yes, we can. Have the capability. Like I'm saying that it is going to send an email to myself right now, right? So it is going to be send an email. If you want that, it should trigger a notification to your the MS Teams environment. Yes, of course, that can be implemented. So the trigger can be happen to a Teams channel. It can be a chat or a conversation, or in a group conversation also. It is going to send for you. So you just need to provide here in this example, you just need to provide the access to your SharePoint. You have to select which account you would like to use. And after selecting these options, see, permissions are required, already been logged in, 365 account, already been logged in. Now you can create it. You can see parameter is incorrect because I have to provide the URL, right? The list, which list? I'll just put something over here. Like I'll say, this is a list for the data engineering. Let's take an example. Do I have a list here? It is just loading if I have a list available. So as soon as there is a change inside that particular list, I'll say as soon as there is a change inside that particular list is going to be happen, we'll be able to receive a notification. Learning app content repository, where it is going to be sent. We can select any of the value to whom you want to send. I'll say it is going to be sent to my email account, right? What should be the subject? Item modified, right? The body, in the body section, you can add the dynamic values actually. In the dynamic, what will happen? I can say the value should be taken at the runtime. Even the subject can also have modified. What modified? This, the title. What do you want to add? This is the automatic generated. This is the item ID. This is modified. This is who created it actually, right? So you will be able to select these values from the dynamic field. So you have many different fields available. See, many all these things are available: color, modified, who modified, name of the file, file content, all those things. So you will be able to select all these settings while creating it. Now, what will happen whenever a file is going to be updated, when there is a list is going to be updated, the learning app content, it is going to send an email over this email ID with subject item modify name of the file title with this value inside the body. It is going to be triggered and it is going to be saved. You just need to save it and it is going to work for you. This is been created by using let's wait. This is being created by using this Copilot option. You have the option that you will be able to create this application of at your own as well. So here we go. We are here. We can create something new. See, there are many. Actually, we have multiple flows available. Flows that you will be able to run on manual basis, the flows that you will be able to create on a schedule basis. You want to do the things whenever the things are getting happening based on the different type of triggers, the modification happen based on that. If you want to trigger it, that is also possible. And we have the robotic that can run on your desktop environment as well. Like, I just want that on a regular interval, we have the desktop flows available. What they will do basically, they will keep on capturing the screenshot of the user interface. Like, if we have, let's say in the organization, we want that the people should work from home, right, rather than coming physically to the offices, but we just want to keep an eye like what the people are actually doing in the home during the working hours. So we can configure the desktop flow that will automatically capture the screenshot of the users on a random basis, right? Randomly it will capture the screenshot and it is going to be sent to the manager, right? Anytime it will trigger, it will capture the screenshots silently, right? And it is going to send actually. So we have the robotic things that are available as well. That is called as the desktop flows that you will be able to design. In that case, it need to be downloaded on the desktop devices. It need to be configured over there. Then it can be configured. There are many other things that are available, like forwarding mail to a channel. Like one of the question that Mohammed asked about, can we send the notification to the team? Yes, of course. See, when we are using about this flow, so it can work with your, again, multiple type of the sources, right? And when it is talking about sending these notifications, the values, right, first the sources are multiple. We have more than 250 plus connectors that supports in this environment, right? Let's say I'm creating an instant flow from here, right? What should be the name type? You can see we have these different type of sources. Not only this, I'll say skip it. Your flows are basically the events. So based on the different type of events, it is going to be executed. So how it is going to be executed, that we have to define. That is the first step in creating a flow. So we'll say trigger. When it is going to be triggered, basically, see, we have multiple things. When it should trigger, AI builder, approval for an approval process, DevOps, like you have integrated the Azure DevOps environment and you have your pipeline created over there, right? And you think that if somebody has created some issue, right? And if you have uh, your board that has been configured, and if somebody has created a new wind inside the board, and as soon as a new thing has been created over there, it should be triggered over there. Then based on that event, it will trigger this event. So it can connect with your Azure DevOps environment, any of your forms, Teams, 365 user, OneDrive, Business, Outlook, Planner, Power BI, RSS fields, right? You can see there are actually, see, it is a big list, more than 300 actually that we have. You just need to select your right type of the trigger, like when this flow needs to be executed. So multiple options that are available. So select your right type of flow. I'll say from the teams. Now from the teams, when a new channel message is added, when I am mentioned in the channel message, then this flow is going to be triggered. Now you just need to configure it. Sign in with your account first of all, in which teams messages you will be mentioned so that it is going to be triggered a message for you. Sign in, do the authentication part, and then you will be able to sign in from here. Then you will be able to select your channels, teams, configure it, and you can start using it. Just wait. Signing you in. Mhm. Like the teams. Which team? Select any of the team. Let's say I'm selecting this. MS demo here. Now you should be able to see your channels here from this particular team. Select your channel. We have the general. So whenever in the general channel, somebody mention you in this particular channel, then you will be getting this particular flow is going to be triggered. What do you want to do once it is getting triggered? Now, this is the next step. Now you have to specify it is going to be triggered, what action you want to take. Now you can just select what do you want to perform actually. Now that can be, I would like to check the weather. Let's say I would like to check the today's forecast. I'll be connecting with my MSN and I'll say if somebody asks me about anything, so you can just select over here, right? So I'm just setting up this value over here. Now this is what I'm getting. When somebody messages me, when somebody is just marking me in that one, I would like to get a notification from the temperature. So I would like to see the temperature, and then what I would like to see, I would like to respond back actually, right? So inside the Teams, I'll say create a new chat. I would like to create a chat to whom you can select your addresses, see, date, because it is just taking the value from the previous one from the forecast information. Let's go here, right? What should be the message is related to? Message from which user ID has sent me a message. I would like to start, say, starting new station, right? I'm just removing it actually. So once somebody mentioned me over here, I'll say start a new chat to that particular person, member to message. So I'm about to start a personalized conversation with that particular person. So that is going to be started actually if somebody mentioned me inside the chat window, right? This is what we'll be able to see. This is what it is going to be triggered automatically. A new chat will be started automatically with that particular person inside the Teams channel. So this is what the Power Automate provides you, right? So by combining the functionality of this Copilot, there are multiple things. The endless things can be created and endless things can be configured. Then we have the bot application that is called as a Copilot environment. And using this Copilot, you add within some time, you will be able to configure your own Copilot or a bot application. And this bot application can be integrated in your web applications, in your mobile based application, in your Telegram channels, in your WhatsApp group, in your Facebook channels, right? All these things can be implemented. So it will just take some time. I'm just extending. Things has been expired over here and we'll be able to use it. Like it is getting created actually. I'll be able to see. Earlier name was the Power Virtual Agent. The current name is like Microsoft Copilot Studio. And using this Copilot Studio, you will be able to configure your own Copilot. So basically, we have a bot. Now, this bot is having the capability to interact with your data. Data that is coming from your different type of sources, like we already talked about. We have multiple type of sources available, like my data is coming from a dataverse environment, or you have a CRM application from the dynamics environment, you have the dynamic sales application, and you want that the sales application will provide you a support for your customer by using the bot application. So you can integrate with your sales application, the customer insight application, the project management application, right? It can interact. Not only this, it is having the capability to interact with any of the other applications as well. You just need to train your bot actually. So this interface is all about the training. So you will be training your bot, right? And after having this bot trained, you will be able to publish it. What it can do, I'll just say that it is going to be available. I'll say debug mode. Using the debug mode, actually I will be able to see how it is going to be behave in the background. So I'll say hello. Let me just put it like hello here, and it is showing me that hello, how can I help you today? So this is my bot, and I'll say tracking on, show me the tracking information. Of course you can do that when you are creating a new Power Virtual Agent. That's a good question actually, Bharat. When you are creating a new bot, when you are creating a new Power Automate, you can start, like I'll say I will be creating a instant cloud, and you can start with a flow from the web, like so you can see manually trigger a flow. We have the web as an interface, right, where you will be able to create it. You will be able to get the data from any of the URL actually. So like HTTP, see, select this HTTP and create. Now you can select, you can put a URL, what is the method, delete, patch, post, because you are interacting with the API now, you will be able to use, right? And then after this, you will be able to trigger with the next, as it you say that we can create an alert in the team, of course. After having this configured, from which you want to see the information, then you can say this is an interaction with my team's environment. Then you can just see what need to be done. So the first your interaction is going to be start by using an HTTP URL where this URL is running, you have to configure it and then you can start using it. Yeah. Yes, you can capture. You can just check the status actually. Check the status. Many parameters are available. Check the status and start using it. Yes, of course, it can be done. Yeah. Okay. Now I'll say good evening. Now look at the right section. I'm just saying that when I'm asking, it will just show me how it is working in the background. So it is updating it actually. Whenever I ask these questions, so it is going to ask me good afternoon, good morning, hello, hey, hi. Based on these questions, it will show you how can I help you. And it is asking me. I'm looking for the order details. Let's say whether it can found this information. So I'm happy to help you to place your order. To what state will you be shipping? Now look at here. Now this is my trained model. So my bot has been trained like I'm happy to assist. Now look at the bottom. You need to select a state from here. What are the states basically? These are the states. State is like California and others. If this is California, you entered, then it will come here. It is actually big canvas screen. So this is how this has been trained actually. So you can design, you can just train it with the help of this user interface. So you can see which state I'll say, look at here. It can be California or Washington or Oregon, right? So I'll say this is Oregon. Now it is coming to that actually. It will be populating. Here you can see what item you are interested. Now it is just populating based on your question actually, right? Now it is just asking what are your items that you are interested in. So you can see desktop computer, laptop, and if you are selecting the desktop from the background, it will come here and say great choice for desktop. It will just come to the laptop, it will just come here. Then if this is the gaming, then it will come here. I'll say laptop computer, we are expecting that it should come here. This is the training in the background. This is not generative AI class, remember. This is not generative AI that we are using based on these topics. These are called as basically the topics, right, that you are creating. And within this canvas, you can just design this entire thing. You can interact with variables. You can take the data from any type of systems, as I just mentioned, from your sales application, from the Dynamics 365. You can interact with that data as well. So it will play with that data and it will ask the user, like you are creating this bot application and we just want that it should be available for my user on by using our own customized web application. So you can publish it on these things like, see, these are the channels. I need to configure the authentication. Once it is getting done, you will be able to publish to a Copilot, Teams, website, Facebook, mobile applications, Skype, Slack, Telegram, Line, Twilio, direct line, email. You can configure it, right? Once it is has been configured. Now, if your data is coming from the sales application or other applications, so what we'll be able to do basically, first, it will ask the user to authenticate themselves by sending an OTP on the mobile phone or the email ID. Once the user is getting authenticated, then only the information is going to be, I'll say, when the user will be able to see the underlying information, right? So this is how this entire process is going to be work for you. If you want, it should be available with any of these additional configuration you will be able to see. It should be on a custom web application, let's say on a demo website. I'm just putting it on a demo website and this is the URL. Let me copy it and let me put it here. This is the end result, how it is going to look like on a demo website, but you will be able to integrate with your own website. Here you can see it is just connecting. Hi, something went unexpected error, some error. It is occurring last published version not found. That means the publishing has not been done properly. We need to publish it. That was not published actually. That you can see on the top, it says publishing was not done. So I'm just publishing it right now. That means the changes are going to be saved, and once it is done, then we will be able to see the content inside the demo website. So, team, this is a small introduction about the Power Platform, right? That I just explained you. There are many other things because due to the time constraint, I think these are the only things that I was able to show you. But of course, there are many more things. This is the endless power that the Power Platform provides you, whether you want to create the applications, whether you would like to create your analytics solution, you would like to create some bot applications, you are looking for the automation. And when you're talking about a single solution, your single solution basically having all those things, right? So one single solution might have Power Apps, and inside the Power application, you are integrating your the automate as well, so that the things will happen automatically. The automation can be implemented, and within the same Power application, what you are doing, you are already integrating some dashboard that has been created by using the Power BI. And in the same application, you might have integrated a virtual agent as well. So these all things work together, and all these things can be configured. You have seen it is actually easy to implement. Now it is just responding me hello, and I'm just looking for my order details. Right now you can start interacting from here. So this is a small interface from where you will be able to see. So I'll be doing it from Oregon, and it will start using from here. Yeah, you can start using it. Yes, and more question, rating it like 5. So that's a small one, and you just let me know that how you like this session. It was just an introduction. I just tried my best to show you multiple things from here. But based on your feedback in future, if we just need to conduct this type of session, your feedback will be very useful for us. So the feedback link has been shared in the chat. Please share your valuable feedback. And if you have any questions, please do let me know. Over to you, Jas. Of course, we can use the images. See, we have multiple things. When we say media, you have images, you can use camera, barcode, add images, streaming data, videos, audio, microphone. Why? Because we are providing these applications to our end user who might be a salesperson, who might be a support engineer that is visiting in the field. And anytime if they have to capture some information, and nowadays, if you say that some problem has been fixed on the client end, and now you need a signature of the client. So we have this the option that you will be able to ask the user to just do the writing within this application. So the handwritten recognition is also there. So you user can create it. Yes, exactly. This can be implemented. So Wilson, that's correct. So you have all these facilities that are available, right? Many possibilities actually. AI things like we are just talking about, barcode, scanner, forms, object, all these things can be implemented. Mixed reality is there that you will be able to take the benefit of the mixed reality. It is just a text recognizer. You just need to scan the images and it will just help you to detect the content out of this one. So many tools. See, from the mixed reality, view in MR, view shapes in MR, measure in MR, right? Small example here, AI powered low code example from here, directly from the Microsoft site, like how these power apps and other things are actually going to work. So just give me a few seconds and it is going to be loading for you. Yeah, here we go. Few things. Power platform and end to end with power apps actually. Industries across the globe are facing big challenges. Those who have been able to adapt by incorporating cloud technology have been shown to outpace their competitors. Companies who encourage digital skills throughout their organization by giving everyone access to innovative tools in a managed and compliant way will not only increase efficiency, but also gain a competitive advantage. Microsoft Power Platform provides organizations the opportunity to empower team members to build their own solutions through an intuitive low-code or no-code set of services. Citizen developers can now join Code First developers as a team to build mobile and web first apps by utilizing Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, Power Virtual Agent, and AI Builder. Combined with hundreds of available connectors out of the box in the Microsoft Dataverse, it's easier than ever to create impactful solutions for one person or the entire organization.
Plus, with seamless integration between Power Platform applications built by your team and familiar Microsoft products such as Microsoft 365, Dynamics 365, or Azure, organizations can break down traditional data silos to move together towards success in this new world of work. Microsoft Power Platform, everyone's home for low-code transformation.
Yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you so much, Haria. Over to you.
Thank you, Purveet. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. We really hope the session has brought insights and value addition to your time that you've spent with us. Uh, just to let you know, we will be getting this session recorded for you, and we'll get this up on our website in a day from now so that you can refer this. Meanwhile, I wanted to request you to please do share your valuable feedback. This will help us to add more potential in the subsequent sessions. And if there is a need, we'll probably add more series to the same topic. Right? So please spare a minute. Your participation certificate shall be rolled out by tomorrow end of the day. Right. We'll wait for a couple of more minutes for all of you to share your valuable feedback and then we'll wrap it up. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, unfortunately, the format of webinar is such that we got to mute all the participants just to avoid any background noise. But just in case if you have any questions, we still have a couple of minutes. Raveen is right here with us. Do feel free to get your questions clarified.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Someone, just in case if you're unable to open the link, there's also a QR code. Please see if you're able to access that and share your feedback. All right, everyone, we'll call it a day. Thank you, everyone, once again for joining in. Hope you have a great evening ahead. Thank you.